I almost forgot my hat. Let's see here. Theory 2, distance 4B. This one we're going to work on some figured bass. There will be figured bass on the exam, and I want to make sure you feel good about it. This will be on page 83 today. So go ahead and turn to page 83. The figured bass that you have on the exam will probably be about this long. I mean, it will have 7 or 8 chords on it. I'd like to do this top one and the second one, and then you have 2 others if you feel like you need more practice. But for this video, we're going to do the page 83 first and second figured bass. Of course, one of the issues with teaching figured bass is that sometimes there's more than one right way to do something. Not sometimes, like all the time. So it's possible that I might do something and you do something different, but they're both correct. Anyway, I'm just going to do my best and try to show you what some possible ways of doing it so you don't feel bad if you don't do it my way. But let's go ahead and sort of walk through from the beginning. So first of all, let's figure out what key we're in. We've got 2, excuse me, we have 2 flats, and it looks like it ends so-do in G minor. Now, we already expect an accidental in the key of G minor. We expect F sharp. So here's the thing is, if we see an F sharp, that's not a secondary chord, that's just a normal chord, right, for either the dominant or the leading tone of G. However, if we see accidentals outside of the key of G minor that are not F sharp, those are secondary chords, and we need to be able to identify them and resolve them and spell them appropriately. So let's go ahead and, if you like, let's go ahead and just be thinking about where are the pitches that are outside the key. Let's start with this. This one has an alteration. So whatever the 6th is above A is going to be raised. So the 6th above A is F, so this will have F sharp. Well, that makes sense because we're in G minor. Okay, let's keep going. This one has B natural. So this one is already outside the key of G minor. And it also says that whatever is a 7th above B is going to get a flat. So let's figure this out. What is a 7th above B? B, D, F, A. So this will also have an A flat in it. This one has C sharp, and it looks like it also has a natural somewhere in there. Of course, there's no number. When there's no number, that means the 3rd above the bass. So what's the 3rd above C? The 3rd above C is E. And notice that we have E flat. So this is telling us that the E flat will become E natural. So it looks like we've already found, I'm sorry I'm writing this so small. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So we have E natural here, and C sharp. And then lastly, we have another one that's a 3rd above the bass. D, a 3rd above is F, so we know this is another F sharp. Now, when you finish your whole figured bass, this better have F sharp in it somewhere in the chord. This better have A flat somewhere in there. This better have an E natural in there. If you don't, then it will get marked wrong because you don't have the right pitches. So you have to be careful. Make sure that whatever those alterations are end up in your figured bass at the end. All right, this one's 1. Let's figure this out. And you are always welcome to pause and figure stuff out before we go to the next one. I'm not going to say pause very much. You can tell when it's time to go on and try to figure it out, and then unpause it, and we'll move on from there. This is in first inversion because it's got a 6, so this will be an FAC. Of course, we also know that it has F sharp. And this is Roman numeral 7. Okay, now we're going from a triad to another triad. Let's look for what's doubled. Here we have a G. This G's going up. Here we have another G. Why don't we have that G go down to our F sharp? And we need, so we have A, we have F sharp, we need a C, maybe C here in the altos. And why don't we double the A? We could double the C if we wanted, but let's double the A, and then we have some nice contrary motion going to that octave. That works out pretty nicely. All right, let's do the next chord. So again, you can pause and figure it out. It's in first inversion again, so this will be G, B flat, D, Roman numeral 1. And here we have F sharp. That's our leading tone in the soprano, so probably F sharp needs to go back to do. Starting with do, T, do. Here is our doubled note. We have 2 A's. This A is going up. Let's have this A go down. And we need one more. We don't have a D yet. And let's hear just this opening real quick. 1, 7, 6, 1, 6. One, 7, 6, 1, 6 is a pretty conventional opening that we'll hear a lot. All right, now we're getting to our altered chord, and we know that this is either going to be 5 of something or it's going to be 7 of something. We will know the difference. If it's a major triad, it's going to be 5 of something. If it's diminished, it's going to be 7 of something. It's in root position. Let's figure this one out. B natural, D, F, and then of course our altered 7 is A flat. And taking a look at this one to me looks diminished. And then we think, okay, well if this is a leading tone, what would this be the leading tone of? B natural is the leading tone to C. So it looks like this is a 7 of C, or 7 of 4. Now, one thing you can always do is you can kind of sneak ahead and take a look at the next chord. This one is C, E flat, G, which is 4. Surprise, surprise, right? 7 of 4 resolving to 4. That's the kind of thing you should expect when you're doing a figured bass. You'll see a secondary chord then resolve to whatever it was telling you it was belonged to. Okay. We have B natural, D, F, A flat. There's a lot of ways we can do this. There's multiple ways. I'm going to go ahead and have so like here we have a G in the soprano. This G could either go up to A flat, or this G could come down to F. Same thing here. This G could go up to A flat. This G could come down to F. So I'm going to pick A flat up here. And we'll put F down here. Right? As long as one G is going one way, the other G is going the other way, we're in good shape. All right. Now we'll resolve to 4. C, E flat, G. This one has a 7th, so A flat needs to go down by step. And probably the best way to do this one is to do it like this. And let's hear how it sounds so far. Well, now I'm already regretting that the tenor is so low. Well, I guess I should have had the tenor up on the E flat. Too late. Okay, let's do this next chord, which is in first inversion. And it's a 7th chord, so it'll be A, C, E, G. And with all of the accidentals, it should be A, C sharp, E natural, G, and let's see here. We have A, C sharp, E, G. We know that this is a secondary chord. And is it major or is it diminished? It looks like this is a major minor 7, an A7. So this chord, A7, is the dominant of which key? A7 is the dominant of D. So we know that this is a 5-6-5 of D, or 5-6-5 of 5. Here we have C sharp. C sharp should be in the same voice that had C natural. Here we have E natural. Oh no, wait a minute. No, I did it wrong. No. We already have C going to C sharp. We don't need another C sharp. My bad. We need E flat going to E natural. And then we need an A and a G. Why don't we keep the G and we can have the altos do a nice low A. And here we're going to cadential 6-4 and 5-7 and 1. So what do we double in the 6-4 chord? Double the bass. Maybe tenors and basses can share. We want the 7th to go down by step, but it cannot. Because there is not a note down by step. We will go down by step soon, though. We are going to leave that right there, and then we also need a B flat. So you're wondering, when will it go down by step? The 7th, the G, will go down by step over here to F sharp. And let's just make it incomplete so we can go T-do at the end. So again, there's a lot of ways that you can do this. My main issue is just I want you to have a good refresher, and I want you to also see where the secondary chords are. 7 of 4 going to 4, 5-6-5 of 5, going to cadential 6-4, which functions as 5. Let's hear how this sounds. For me to look over there and play at the same time. All right, let's do one more now that we're warmed up. Let's do this next one, which has the 4 flats. Okay, we've got A flat major. And most of this looks pretty straightforward, but it looks like we have a secondary chord here and a secondary chord there. Tell you what, why don't you go ahead and let's just figure out what all the harmonies are. Figure out these harmonies and then figure out these harmonies. So do that first. Figure out our secondary chords and where they go and what the Roman numerals will be, and then we'll go back through and we'll figure out figure out the rest of it. So go ahead and pause, take a moment on that. Okay, this one has E, G, B flat, and D flat. So this one has the word outside the key. This one is F, A flat, C, which would be Roman numeral 6. I'm thinking that this is going to be something of 6. And if we take a look, E natural is the leading tone to 6, so this is 7 of 6. Let's do the same thing here. This one is in first inversion with a lot of altered tones. So it looks like it's an A, C, G, except it's going to have a lot of accidentals. Let's see if we can figure that out. Okay, so first of all, the 5th above the bass, I already put a flat in there. The 5th above the bass is flat, so G will be G flat. And the 6th above the bass, so C, the 6th above C is A, so A gets an A natural. And if we look at the rest of the key signature, it's A natural, C, we also have E flat. Okay, now let's take a look at this one here. We have first inversion, so it looks like it will be B flat, D flat, F. And this is Roman numeral 2. And this looks like it is 7 of 2. So we've got a 7 of 6 going to a 6, a 7 of 2 going to a 2. All right, and some part writing. Here we have root position E flat, G, B flat. So this will be Roman numeral 5. And let's have A flat go up to B flat. And how about E flat up to G and C up? Right, there's lots of ways we can do this. When we go from root to root, remember they can go up together, they can go down together. I just picked up so they have more space. Now let's do the 7 of 6. We have G, why don't we leave that there? And we have B flat, we can leave that there. And D flat, we'll go right here. Okay, now we're going to F, A flat, C. This was a 7th chord. 7th should go down by steps, so D flat will come down to C. And we need an A flat and an F. Maybe these can both come down. Here we have A natural, C, E flat, G flat. A natural should probably come from A flat, same voice. So now we have A, C, we need E flat and G flat. Probably it will work best is if F goes to G flat and C goes to E flat. Now I've intentionally made a mistake on this. on this one. Check it out. This has an altered tone and an altered tone, a natural and a flat. If you go back and look, you'll see only a natural. That is not good. Anytime you see altered tones down here, they need to show up in the music. So we need to make sure we have our G flat. And let's keep going. Here we have B flat, D flat, F. G flat is our 7th, so that will go down by step to F. And, ooh, you know, here's A natural. That's like the leading tone to B flat. Why don't we just bring it up like that? Because we have A flat, A natural, B flat. And then we could have another D flat, double the bass. We're in first inversion. We have some options on double. Now we're going to this looks kind of funky, but I'll just tell you what it is. It's basically a 5 going to a 5-7. That's all. Oh no! Come back! Come back! Yeah, we're going from a 5 to a 5-7. So, generally when I approach a 5 chord, I try to come down to stuff. Let's try that. Let's try just having everybody come down. Maybe D flat can, so here's the thing. This D flat is going to E flat. Do you see the problem? If we have 2 D flats going to 2 E flats, then we end up with parallel octaves. So let's just bring our voices down against the bass. We'll have this D flat go down to E flat. We'll have the F come down to E flat. And we'll have the B flat come down to G. And we'll turn it into a 5-7 this way. And let's hear how it sounds. I hope you're feeling a little bit about figured bass. Remember on the test, I'm not going to try to put the hardest one on the planet to, stump you. I just want to make sure that you understand the concepts, that you're able to find your secondary chords, that you remember things like resolving the 7th down, not having parallel octaves, things like that. Also making sure that any chromaticism shows up in the music in the right spot. Thanks.